Okay, well, we're approaching the end of September, nearly the end of the first month of the academic year. Our first update of the year with Director of Football Jordan Clark. Jordan, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dan.
And scarily, we are nearing the end of the first month of the academic year. Lots of changes around the academy, year on year, there always are, and we've got more staff on board, we've got more students, we've got more teams. Just give us a bit of an overview of the last few weeks, Jordan, with the term now underway.
Well, it's like we've never been away, Dan. Like we've had the largest intake we've ever had. We've now got 2 A-level cohorts at Ashcombe, 2 cohorts at Dunnottar. We've got Carrington kicking off their first year as a sort of GCSE academy. Is the best way to describe it to everyone watching. And then we've obviously got the BTEC, which has been a sort of linchpin of our sort of time as an academy. The last sort of 8-9 years that we've been running, and we've got 2 cohorts, 80 plus learners within that. So in total, Dan, we're looking at around about 150 learners across the programme, which is mental numbers. It's fantastic. The growth of the academy is brilliant, and the extended pathway now from the age of, you can be 14 and be starting your journey with Dorking Wanderers Academy in terms of full-time education and full-time football. So if you go to Carrington School, you can be there all the way through from 14 all the way with us until you're 21. So it's a real sort of marquee year for this new sort of extended pathway. And with that, we've recruited some excellent staff. So we've got more teachers than what we've ever had on the BTEC programme. We've got George Broad, James Dixon, who have come in as professional development phase leads to support. James Dixon's taken up the performance analyst role. So yes, Dan, the month of September has been a real sort of finding our feet. Yeah, with this whole new regime, we've near enough doubled in size, near enough. We've had some learnings, but it's been a real fruitful month, and our hard work since pre-season, August to now, will really set us up for a really good academic year and a really good season. And we've started the seasons well, and we'll come on to that, I'm sure. But academically, everyone's on track. We're going through that period of sort of probation, that census period, and making sure everyone's on the right pathway for them. And we look like we've done a good job with that, and the learners are enjoying it and thriving in the environment. And that's our focus. We're making sure that we've got a fruitful, thriving environment for everyone that we have a part of the programme. That's why we choose the education partners we do, because they mirror our ethos, our sort of mindset of being progressive. And I know everyone will say that, but genuinely here, our results speak for themselves, and our education providers' results speak for themselves, and we just want to keep kicking on. So, yeah, it's been a long month. It's not even the end yet, but it's been a fruitful one, and it will set us up for a really good academic year.
And in terms of, you touched on it there, in terms of the season getting underway, last Wednesday, our 2 National League sides, the one team who plays in the Academy South Division, the other who plays in the Alliance Division E, got their seasons underway, which is fantastic. And then this past week, we've had our Tactics T3 side get underway, and we've got our Tactics F2 side. These are our Tactics teams who play on a Wednesday and a Friday getting underway as well. So 4 of our 5 academy sides underway, and off to a positive start by all accounts as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we knew we invested last year in our first years, and that's no disrespect to the second years that we had, but we only had a small amount of them. So we had 28 second years last year, where first years last year we had around about 50, 60. And the fruit of that labour of having them playing probably above a level that they should do at the time in terms of getting more opportunities than what they will naturally if they were in a cohort that was bigger. We've definitely paid dividends for that, because the second years now they've played 15, 20 games minimum each in that Academy South Division, which is an outstanding level of football. It's outstanding. And in the Alliance League equally, fantastic standard. And we've had a lot of players who have played at these 2 levels in our second year. and that has already paid dividends in terms of the competitive nature of the games we've played already, but also in the results. So like for what I call my team, the National League Academies team, the one that I run, we played Eastleigh, who last year and the year before finished in the top three of that Academy South Division, excellent side. And we went toe to toe with them, and generally it was fine margins, and that was excellent to see considering where we were last year. And then Wednesday this week we went away to Southend, Category 3 Academy, just fallen out of the Football League system. Lovely bunch of people, really professional, everything they had going on there. And we came away victors 3-2 after a long journey in the wet weather, and we just showed real character and grit and determination that we should be at this level, and that was a real marquee moment for me on Wednesday. I was like, yeah, we're on to something here. Like these boys have, it's clicking. So yeah, we're looking forward to a really exciting season. It was a great performance the last couple of weeks, and we're just looking to keep that going. We've got a fantastic bunch across the academy, from Tactics Friday all the way through to the National League Academies team. Everyone's going to get loads of opportunities, and the key for us is results are part of people's development. They're not the key factor. We want to create people. We want to win and do well. Of course we do. That's a trait that is ingrained in this club in terms of winning and progressing. But the main thing for me is that they come each game and each season having learnt something about themselves and as people, and that they grow in stature, let alone just as a footballer. And you can already see the second years from the experiences they've had last year. They know what to expect and they've come on for that, and now we're demanding more from them and we're getting more from them. So the first years will only benefit from having those role models in the year above, and I think this is going to create a nice cycle for us of sort of teams that can be competitive at all levels. So yeah, the hardships of last year, and I'll use that term lightly, but the learnings from last year will definitely pay dividends this year. And all the teams, like Josh and Graham's team, who in the Alliance division, had a really competitive game last week against Charlton. Came away with a draw. By all accounts, probably should have won that game on the balance of things. And then Tactics went away to Eastleigh this week, narrow 2-1 defeat. But again, to be competing with these sort of long-term National League clubs, who have had teams of this nature in terms of the size of the academy for a long time, just shows that we're doing something right, and those results will go the other way for us this year, and we're looking forward to a really good season on all fronts.
No, really positive start. Long may it continue. The 2 National League sides and our 3 Tactics sides. Of course, our academy is headed up though by our Wanderers B team, who compete in the Southern Combination Division 1 Step 6 of non-league. Managed by Ruben. We've got Sam Cave and Jack Clements in the backroom staff there as well, and they've made a tremendous start and real continuity from last year, and particularly pleasing given that it is all made up of academy lads this year, the B team.
Yeah, well, myself, Richard King and Mark sat down in the sort of springtime and made the decision to make it a non-external team as such, so trying to keep it as heavily weighted against our good young players as possible. And we had a few sort of a SWOT analysis of it, what the strengths of that, what the weaknesses of that, opportunities and threats. The opportunities were, we're going to give people at 16, 17 players the opportunity to play at men's level of football, semi-pro football, and learn what that looks like. The threats were how long would it take them to acclimatise, but that's been nipped in the bud very early. They've had a fantastic run of form. I think they've 7 games unbeaten. So, and Ruben, I can't speak highly enough of the man. He's in terms of developing young players and working to a system, and with the limited time that he gets on a Tuesday and Thursday night, the sort of rewards and the outcomes he gets from those sessions is incredible. He's a top coach, top coach. Learning his trade as a manager as well, and evidently combining the two really well with a great backroom team. And the players are massively benefiting from that. They've got, if you look at that team, you've got Jay Richardson, Luke Cowan, Luca Fulco, Harry Charlesworth, Neo Wooster, Henry Russ. You've got Ollie Rawlins, Jacob Todman. you know, I'm trying to think if I've forgot any other first years, but you're already there, you're looking at 7, 8, 9, 16-year-olds playing regularly at step 6. That's got to be good for the club. You know, they're gonna massively develop quickly at a young age, and then my job will be to set them up with the right loan deals as they go through their second year with us, and see how far that takes them, their development. But yeah, that team is, you know, again, because that is the sort of flagship team for us. The key is that that team does well. It's that sort of cusp from where they go from development. Yes, we want to win at these levels, great, but there's other things at that level. It's about winning. It's about winning. It's about learning what it means to get 3 points on a Saturday, and being competitive in a men's league, and they've navigated that tremendously well up till now, and I'm really excited about what they can achieve, because I think it will be a real underestimated achievement. Even up till now, what they've done is remarkable, and that's not discounting the quality we've got, but to do it in the manner they have, you know, the quality on show. It's not like they've been lucky. They've dominated games and smashed teams, and you know yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do come April, and I think this group of players, there's going to be a few special ones in there, and hopefully 4 or 5, but definitely a couple that will go on to hopefully represent the first team and kick on from there.
Yeah, tremendous start for the B team. Currently second in the division, behind the leaders Roffey, and they've got a busy week coming up and running the cup starts as well. So no, really encouraging start for the B team this campaign. Down from the first team, our other senior team, of course, within the football club is our DWFC Women, who have started the season in a brand new league, first ever campaign in Tier 5 of the Women's Football Pyramid, and tough start acclimatising to the league. They've got a win away from home last week, and really so many new players involved in the setup and a new world. They are acclimatising quickly in spite of the tough start, Jordan.
Yeah, totally. So the women's team have gone from strength to strength in a number of different areas. You know, just even as a club, you look at their attendances now on a Sunday. You're looking at the infrastructure in place there with the management team, Lou, Kez, and the backroom staff with Jamie and everyone else, and what Callum and that have created there is brilliant. It was always going to be, I think, in women's football, that's one of the bigger jumps from that sort of west east regions, then going into that tier 5 is one of the bigger jumps. I think they'll acclimatise and they'll be just fine. I think it's like anything, you recruit 7-8 new players, lose 7-8 new players. It's always going to take a little bit of time. Plus you've got better teams. That's no disrespect to the level they were at, but you're talking, you know, you've got Fulham in this league, you've got different levels of teams that they're coming up against. So yeah, they'll get there. Lou and Kez will work tirelessly, and I'm looking forward to seeing them acclimatise this year at that level. And then I'm sure, you know, there's nothing to say they can't do it this year, but definitely have a go next year, and because I know Callum and what they want to achieve. So I'm really pleased with the sort of development of that side of the game for us. So, you know, we've got our first fully fledged girls academy team that kick off their season next week. That is going to be probably one of the biggest occasions the academy's ever had, in terms of where we've come from and what that means to us. It's been something on my radar for the last sort of 4 or 5 years, and to have it come to fruition and be looking at going into a competitive league next week and playing a competitive game as a girls academy is fantastic. The youth teams are coming on leaps and bounds on the girls side. So yeah, I think that's it's a real underestimated part of the club. I think it's come on massively, and the ladies have the women have spearheaded that development, because it's like anything, when you can see someone who looks like you doing well at a club, then it breeds, you know, the youth players wanting to be a part of that. So yeah, I think the women's side of things is another bit that I'll just encourage anyone to get involved with, whether it be just coming down and supporting, to sponsoring. We just want to grow it as big as we can, and to do that we need some resource and we need people shouting about what we're doing. And I'm sure if you come down and have a look at the whole girls women's side of things, it's since I set it up, since I created the women's team in 2020, it's I could never dream that we would have what we have now within 2-3 years. Like, it's mental. Have a promotion to our name, have a Capital Women's Cup, medal, and that's all obviously all down to the people on the ground. But when I brought the women's side across, it was to allow us to create a pathway, and we've done that as well as have success on the pitch. So yeah, it's great, and everyone should show their support.
You mentioned there the academy girls side, and I said earlier on about 5 teams getting underway in the academy, and the girls do start their season next Tuesday. And as you said, they're a really proud moment for everyone here. And obviously, had girls attending our academy over the last few years, but we're in a world now where we've got a full team and a full squad together there, and that'll be, as you say, a real flagship moment that next Tuesday when they get their campaign underway.
Yeah, well, their new kit came yesterday, so they'll be buzzing off that. I know Hannah Zara has been giving me a hard time making sure that it's the right kit, and so I'm really pleased that came in time. So thanks to David, our partner with Macron, for getting that here on time. But no, they deserve it. Some of them have had 18 months of being here without playing a competitive game. We've had the odd friendly where we've mixed a few girls in from other partners that we've got, but to now have a fully fledged team that's going to have a competitive season, and regardless of how they do, it's just monumental that we're at that stage. It's huge. So I can't wait to be there next Wednesday or next Tuesday. It's next Tuesday to watch it, and it'll be a really proud moment seeing these girls play their first competitive game, and seeing what that means to them will be very probably very emotional, because that's why we do what we do, Dan, is to give people opportunities, to create pathways, to create exit routes, and the girls have over the last sort of 3-4 years when we've had the girls, they've all gone on to do great things, but it's always been a thing for me that the competitive element of the football side needs to grow, and we've managed to do that with our recruitment over the last couple of years. So we're it is a very exciting time, and I'm looking forward to next year. I'm not getting greedy, but I'd love to have 2 girls teams. We've got 5 boys teams. I'd love to someday be matching that definitely, because they deserve the same amount of opportunity, because the women's game's going only one way, and we want to spearhead that in this area and be a real linchpin for women's football. And they'll I hope they win next week, because they deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to that next week. That's all of our academy teams that are underway for the season, which is brilliant. And just looking a bit further afield there, Jordan, a few of our academy students, past and present, out on loan at senior clubs. Jack Saunders and Matt Hay, 2 of our first year academy students from last year, and actually featured for the first team in pre-season as well, and gave a great account of themselves. They've headed out on loans, and the likes of Cam Black and Ollie Allen, who've come through the academy previously, they've taken their level, they've gone up a level as well with their loans this season as well. So fantastic to see, away from the club, that progress still being made. Yeah,
well, Jack Saunders and Matt Hay are a prime example of that B team purpose. So both being first years with us last year, played 30 plus games, finished 3rd in that division, regulars in the team. They performed brilliantly and consistently. And what that brought it brought then a recognition of the performances. So every year, nothing's ever given, everything's earned, and these 2 young players performed so well for that team that we offered them the opportunity to, like with Jack, sign a first team deal, and then with Matt to get him out on loan, because we felt that was right for him in his development. We didn't think playing for the B team any longer at that level would be beneficial for him. So we've sent Matt to Loxwood, obviously friends of the club, Barks and Mike, who obviously people will know them for a bunch of amateurs, the originals, as they'll take their mantle. So Matt's there, and then we've got obviously Jack's with me at Red Hill. That's obviously what I do on my in my spare time. I manage Red Hill. So the idea is with that one, it was obviously a good opportunity for Jack to come in at a level above, and so yeah, the loan system's worked really well for us, and the idea is we want to continue to develop that, and it's something that I've always been learning about, and placing players at the right place at the right time for them. And I think with Cam Black, who's probably the oldest now after losing James Dixon last year. I think he's the oldest now who's been a part of our system for sort of 4 or 5 years. We've got his loan deal spot on in terms of, at the right time, right level, right sort of situation for him was what he's had to face, relegation battle with Leatherhead to then a mid-table, finish with Bognor, regular game time, to now being in a Cray Wanderers team that are expected to be in the playoffs and have that expectation of being a good side with a fantastic manager and a different type of manager to deal with. So yeah, the loan system's gone really well, and the idea is, these boys come back and play for the first team when they're ready. Some do it, some don't, but the idea is their development's still part and parcel of us. And yeah, we're really excited. And obviously Ollie, probably, everyone forgets how young Ollie is. Ollie's only 19, 20. He was one that got these opportunities probably a year earlier because of how good he was. So yeah, Ollie going to Walton Hersham with Scott and Billy down there, what a setup to be a part of, fantastic managers, what a club to be a part of at the minute with 3 promotions. And I think they're, even in that league, I think they're near enough favourites to go up again. So Ollie will thrive in that environment and develop more. So yeah, we're really pleased, and we're thankful to these partner clubs and clubs that have taken our players on loan, and it's great to see them doing so well. Matt scored a worldie on Saturday. I'll put that in there for him because he has shown me the video. So no, fair play. That's what it's about, giving them opportunities and helping them progress.
No, brilliant stuff, and we wish all the players out on loan at the moment the very best as the season continues. And we mentioned Jack and Matt there being obviously involved in the first team set up in pre-season, but a lot of the academy lads have been closer to it, of course, this season. What with the hybrid model that the first team have moved to, training mornings now. They were training at Red Hill and just gone back to Meadowbank in the last few weeks. But no, just get your take on the hybrid setup there, Jordan, because certainly in the early going, we've already seen those benefits shining.
Oh, massively, yeah. It's phenomenal for the club because we have, obviously the academy's been full-time ever since it started, so we're now able to go sort of alongside them, so we train before them, we get to watch their sessions, so development areas, not just from the players but for the coaches, to see the likes of Ross, Dukey, Carl, all working in their set environments under their set roles. The goalies get to train with Tony Prime, the first team goalkeeper coach. So yeah, the benefits are tremendous because we're able to, they get longer, the first team, so on a sort of preparation level for them in terms of winning matches, that's great. But in terms of the club, the academy now can see what it takes, what it looks like, get opportunities to train rather than having to do evenings as well as their daytime stuff. So I know it's an obvious statement, but it's the right step for the club, massively the right step for the club, and I think already we've seen the benefits of that in the organisation of the first team, and even in the results of late, I think it's starting to pay dividends having that. I think always is difficult when you've still got full-time teams. I think the part-time element still is you puts you on the back foot a little bit, but there's definitely marginal gains that they've made from having the extra time and the sort of professionalism of the days that they're there. It's been great to watch. I get to go and watch, get to be a part of it. So yeah, in terms of the benefits of the academy shoes that we've had, I think every session since they've been at Red Hill and Meadowbank, I think we've had 2 or 3 players at every session, 2 or 3, and what an experience. Jay Richardson went up against Jason Pryor, one of our young scholars, and Jason gave him some credit, which is unbelievable. That's what you want. If you hear someone like JP giving you a bit of a pat on the back for how you trained, that can only give motivation, confidence to the players that I'm working with, and that's probably better than any team talk or motivational talk I could do if you're hearing it from someone like JP. So little things like that, the boys, and that's the key thing I want to make. The first team players have been excellent with them, integrating them. Jack trains every day with them, every day that they train. Jack's there all the time as obviously a first team squad member, and he's like part of the furniture, and you can see that they're a real tight-knit group, and it's great to see that the players who go in there get treated well, and it only aids what we're doing here because they come back and then they got that little spring in their step. So yeah, in terms of the hybrid model, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing for us, and it gives us so many different opportunities.
Yeah, very much so. No, real positive moves and steps forward right across the board. And of course, the whole pathway, the whole journey starts at the football club with Mini Wanderers, with our youth section. And we talked about the academy and how we've expanded. But again, it's another season where the youth section of the football club's expanded as well there, Jordan. And of course, their seasons all just got underway in the last fortnight as well.
Yeah, tremendous. So I think we've got 9 new teams this year. 9. I think we've gone from having 24 teams last year to around about the 32, 33 mark. So yeah, it's incredible. You know, I go down sometimes and look at the Mini Wanderers, and you see these 2-3-year-olds there in their Wanderers kits. You know, and the little things that I look forward to, because we're so young and in our infancy still as an academy and as a club. I can't wait for the day, and hopefully I'm here to see it, is you know, someone from the Mini Wanderers comes into the academy and then plays for the first team. Like, that is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Homegrown, you know, developing players for yourself. You know, we're already starting to see that at the upper end with our sort of elite section. With, you know, this year and last year we've had probably 10, 11 players from the under-16s both years. So that's 22 players that have come in from a system that has been thriving. And, you know, our under-16s last year in the elite section were Surrey County Cup champions. And, you know, so, you know, we're producing really good players. We've got, you know, this year we're going to have 2 under-16 girls teams that are ready to come into the academy. So we're looking forward to getting as many of those as we can and keep that continuity in their development. So yeah, the youth section is thriving. Like anything, we're trying to keep up with the amount of teams and the quality that we want to offer, and we're doing things in the background, like looking at different projects to improve the facilities that we have and improve the opportunities that we have. You know, the first team going to a morning training has allowed us to have more opportunities at Meadowbank over Tuesday and Thursday night. So we've got more teams down there, better facilities. So these are all things as a club we're trying to improve on and match how, you know, if we want to produce these players, we need to provide them with the best possible platform, both with coaching, facilities, environment, pastoral care, all the stuff, because it's far more than just, you know, technically on a football pitch. And these are all things we're trying to add in. We're getting more staff. You know, Ben Dyson's taken up more of a sort of a youth team lead, youth section lead. So we're always spinning plates to develop and move forward. And I think since we've sort of amalgamated the youth section with the senior club and the academy, I don't think anyone can deny that we've kicked it on a level in infrastructure, support, guidance. But we're nowhere near where we want to be. Nowhere near where we want to be, and that's we want to continue to grow and be better. And there'll be things that will take 2-3 years, facilities, etc. That might, you know, that a bit longer, but in the short term, it's making sure that the players have the right environment, feel part of the club. Want to see as many of them there on Saturdays and Sundays for the women's and the men's game. So yeah, it's a tremendous thing to see so many young players who want to be a part of Dorking Wanderers. When, you know, I've been here 9 years, and I know obviously it's only 24 years old now, the club. So in my time, we didn't even have a proper youth team 9 years ago. You know, to see 32 youth teams, 150 learners in an academy, and a first team that's part-time, full-time is incredible. And who knows what the next 9 years hold. So that's these are all big things, but this club won't stand still. So we're hoping for, you know, promotion into the Football League, cap-free status for the academy, and a brand new state-of-the-art facility. So no pressure on all of us.
No pressure at all. No. But no, that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about. Is moving forward all the time. And further to that, even though the new academic year's just got underway, we're already in the process. The process already underway for looking to get students in for next year, 24-25. At our first Talent ID Day earlier this month. We've got our next one on October the 22nd. But yeah, the process begins again, Jordan, in terms of getting students, boys and girls, in for next year.
Yeah, totally. So we already had, I think, around about the 15 marks. Attend our September one. So yeah, there's no rest for the wicked, Dan. That's just the way it works. So yeah, we're keen on just keeping on striving for excellence, and anyone who mirrors our ethos mentality, who wants to be a part of this journey for the next couple of years of their education, or just sees it as a next step in their footballing career, and they're happy to couple the education with it, then get involved, get down. We fill up very quickly. Last year, I think we were inundated and oversubscribed by probably the November Talent ID Day. I think we're already expecting around 50 in October with the amount of applications we've had. It's not a first come first serve basis. There is a level of competency we expect both on an education front and on a football front. But if your mentality mirrors some of the things I've discussed today, and you feel like this would be the right place for you to develop, come down, have the chat, look at the presentation, speak with the staff, and see if we can align ourselves, and you can be a part of this journey with us, because it's good. The next couple of years will be great as well. So yeah, get down, email academy@dorkingwanderers.com if anyone has any questions. Just turn up and attend the Talent ID Day, but try and put your name down if you can, because obviously we want to plan accordingly and make sure it's a productive session for everyone. So you can visit our website and register there, www.dwfa.com. So yeah, if anyone is listening and interested or know anyone, get involved, and we'll hopefully have a good couple of years ahead. So yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said there, people who are interested in Talent ID Day, visit the website. You can select book now. You can book for our next one, October the 22nd. We've got another one coming up in November as well. But no, thank you for your time, Jordan. Much appreciated. Thank you to our sponsors as well, Worcester Recycling Croydon, Wexco and Dream Holidays by Zoe. Thank you to our sponsors for this season. And Jordan, we'll catch up again next month.
Yeah, just quickly on the sponsors,
Yeah.
I do want to say that the Academy has had some fantastic sponsors over the years, and I want to thank all of them. But especially this past year, with the amount of opportunities these sponsors have given to our learners, with the new kits you can see, and minibus travel, the training kits, track suits, all the professionalism they've allowed us to do is greatly appreciated. So I just want to say a big thank you to them, and without them we wouldn't be the success we are and continue to be. So, thanks a lot, Dan.
Absolutely, yeah. No, big thank you to our sponsors, and Jordan, we'll catch up next month.
Cheers, mate.